Just do it like that. That's fine, isn't it?
Yeah. Hi, this is South Asian boxer with Voice of Boxing, Adam Smith. How are you today?
The voice is a bit croaky. It's been a long night, so yeah, I need to rest it up before tomorrow in Manchester. But yeah, I had a great night here. GBM. The show went on.
Yeah.
Missed our obviously main event, which was a shame. But that European light heavyweight title seems to be cursed. Someone will fight for it at some point. We had so many fighters here that could have fought for it tonight. Brad Ray, very disappointed for, obviously. Carl Davis, the guy that I help out, was knocking around at ringside. I think there's lots of fighters that would have got in that ring. But we got some great action. Tiernan Bradley and Ben Crocker served up a good one. Emma Dolan, I thought, was really good tonight. Kieran Malloy, very good too. Huey Fury getting a win. So yeah, great atmosphere and a good one at York Hall.
Yeah. Lillie Winch at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned at the end the great story of Lillie Winch. What is that story?
Yeah, Lillie, she's fantastic. She has autism, and she had trouble at school. And I have a daughter who has learning difficulties as well. She's a little bit younger than Lillie. My daughter has dyslexia and dyspraxia, and it's interesting because sometimes it's difficult at school, and they try and find their way. And my daughter found a passion for criminology, and she's going to go and study that, and she's absolutely flying. And Lillie found the boxing ring or the boxing gym, and that gave her a direction, that gave her a passion. I think it gave her a really, really exciting future. She's a fantastic young lady, and yeah, she had 300 people or so in here tonight. I'm sure she'll have 600 next time. It's stories are what we love in boxing, and we love the human element. Yeah, she said to me, look, I didn't really fit into school, and I really fit into boxing, and it's given her a real drive and a passion, and I absolutely love it. And having a daughter who has had learning difficulties and issues as well, I can really relate to what Lillie's going through. And yeah, it's brilliant to see her perform, and she's so happy in the ring tonight, so it was great to see.
If you had to sum up tonight in one phrase, what would that be?
I think I'll do it in two phrases. The show went on,
Yeah.
And that's the job of a promoter and a great outfit like GBM. And another entertaining night at the home of British boxing, York Hall, Bethnal Green, which always delivers.
What about beautiful brutality?
Beautiful brutality. Wow. That reminds me of a labour of love a few years ago. But yeah, beautiful brutality is what boxing is. And that's why we love it. We love fighters. We love the drama. We love the unpredictability, which we had tonight. And we love the characters.
Yeah, I think just because of the time that's passed since the book has come out, we can add to the conversation a little bit. So I want to give you two different case studies and ask what the differences in the role of family. First being one that's talked about in the book, Naseem Hamed. In particular, I'm thinking when he calls his trainer Judas in an interview with yourself and the rest of the build up to the fight night in Atlantic City. What's the difference the role in family plays then compared to the role of family currently in Adam Hamed and Sami Ahmed's career?
That's a great question. Families in boxing are crucial. Tonight, for example, Lauren Parker had her mum, her dad, her brother did the ring walk music. They're all here for her, and she lost, and they've got to go and pick up the pieces. It's hard. I think families have got to be there to support, but maybe not get too emotionally involved. I think sometimes that's an issue. Always difficult, but you look at fighters like Joe Calzaghe and his dad Enzo that went from start to finish, and it was an amazing relationship. So some do work. Brendan Ingle is like a father to Naz, and I think at one time Naz fell out with him, but I think he regretted that in the years that went by, and I think he always wanted to make peace with Brendan. And yeah, it's boxing's a tough career and it's a tough business, but it's great to see Sammy and Adam back on the scene, one in Misfits and one in sort of more professional, I guess straightforward boxing. I had the pleasure of sitting next to Adam the other night when we saw Derek Chisora fight Otto Wallin. And he got Naz on FaceTime, and it was funny. We had a bit of a go down memory lane. But I think, yeah, families still are very important. I think they also need to give the space and allow them to breathe. I think that's what Naz does very well. He doesn't train them. He lets Jamie Moore get on with the training. And the same, I think, for Nigel Benn. He lets Conor be trained by Tony Sims, and he just helps out where he can. And I think that's a great place to be. But yeah, different horses, different courses, but families are very important for fighters. They need stability, and they need they need people that they trust and that put them in the right direction because it's a hard game.
Yeah. Final topic I want to talk on is boxing in Ireland, but during the Troubles. Now, firstly, I want to explain how this relates to what I'm trying to do with South Asia boxing. I'm English born and raised, but both my parents are from a place called Paunch, which is a cross-border state tied to the Kashmir dispute, which is the reason why India and Pakistan go to war.
Yep.
Months after they made as countries, dispute lingers on to today. When I say cross-border state, Paunch is partially they either live with Pakistani military or Indian military, so that's where I want to take them. I'm born in '99, so I might not get this right when I speak about boxing in Ireland during the Troubles. But what effect? I think Barry McGuigan, the most prolific boxer at that time, what effect does Barry McGuigan or boxing more generally have on Ireland during that time period?
Baron McGuigan was unbelievable in Ireland. I mean, I think they said the fighting stopped when McGuigan fought. Or that's where the real fighting started, the proper fighting. So, yeah, Barry was. I mean, it was very difficult times in Ireland. Obviously, then Barry was my absolute hero as a kid. Tommy Hearns from the States and Brian McGuigan from Clonus in Ireland, the Clonus Cyclone, and we're still very close today. I ended up working with him actually at Sky in my early days, and you had to pinch yourself. I still do when I see him. He's been unbelievable for the sport for so many reasons. But yeah, and marrying as well, the Protestant and Catholic, and he did so much. The Danny Boy song, and everything was fantastic. Barry was was brilliant at a really really difficult time. So it was a hard time for Ireland, but Barry left it to at least the sport and the boxing ring could at least provide some sort of sanctuary, I think, for it.
Yeah. On Sunday, April the 6th, the United Nations has a International Day of Sport for Development and Peace. What does that line, sport for development and peace, mean to you?
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, sport is fantastic, and we want peace all around the world. So if sport can help, absolutely brilliant. As you said, Barry was great when the Iron Troubles happened, and we all want to see peace, whether it's in and around the Gaza area, in Ukraine. We all want to see peace, and if sport can help, look what Alexander Usyk has done for his country. He went on the front line with his mate Loma, and Alexander's dream is to fight in Ukraine when it's safe, and I hope his dream comes true because he deserves it.
Yeah, just to finish, the voice of boxing with Adam Smith, not just a podcast anymore. What's happening there?
Yeah, Andy Levada and I, we're working on the voice of boxing. We hooked up about 8 months ago, maybe now, and when you find someone and we just get on, we have a little bromance, and the two of us spend a lot of time together, and maybe he's become my new Johnny Nelson. But Andy and I are working very hard on it. We're very passionate about this sport. We get very close to the fighters. We want to make different content, and we're up and down the country, and we just want to get amongst the fans really, and throw a slightly different aspect onto to social content. We want to just find out what the fans really want, and I love it. Going to these shows and mixing with everybody. I'm a fan, right? And I've always been a fan, so I want to bring that. And obviously, I've got good access with knowing the fighters and the promoters. So you'll see Andy and I a lot around the scene, and hopefully people will enjoy the voice of boxing.
Thank you for your time.
No problem.